Welcome back. Welcome back. Once again, this is Rod Powell on the You Should Get a License podcast edition, your number one source for information, education, inspiration on the most underrated career opportunity in business today. That is a career in the financial services and the insurance industry. We got a heavy hitter in the building today. Very excited. This gentleman has been in the business 10 plus years, agency owner, a couple of different offices, a couple of different cities. Has really been doing it on a significant level, even offering opportunities to franchise agency offices to other agents, which is phenomenal. So if you're someone who is new, just kind of learning about this business, really getting into the industry, this is one that you certainly want to check out. I want to welcome to You Should Get a License, Mr. Jason Rodriguez from Prominent Insurance. Jason, how you doing, good brother?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself, brother?
I'm doing well, very well. Hey, we were just talking about before we actually started recording, just about, the opportunities, inside of the space. And we just left the NIA conference, National African-American Insurance Association, which we were both at together. I mean, just before we started, you were just mentioning, just some of the power and powerful individuals in the room. Just wanted to just kind of get your takeaway before we kind of jump into the conversation real quick, since that's fresh.
Yes, definitely. And I would like to first thank you for the opportunity to be on your podcast. I see it all on LinkedIn, the people that you interviewed, and I appreciate the opportunity. Wanted to first start off by thanking you, my brother.
Hey, thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you taking the time.
Yes, sir. Oh, man, the conference was mind-blowing to basically see all of that talent and greatness in our industry. Because, when you look around, I'm on a chair of the IAB. I'm on different, you go to these big eye conferences and you could count the numbers of individuals of us that's there, So to see a whole room, 500 plus Black, and like we was talking about, a waiting list to get into the conference, and so elegant, man, it was just impressive. And I was telling one of my colleagues, I said, in that meeting alone, just in that conference, there was enough talent to run our own insurance company, our own reinsurer, and had the distribution, which is the agents. You know what I'm saying? So they had everything. They had everything. We had everything there, brother. We just had if we put that together, we'd be unstoppable. Number one insurance company in the world.
Absolutely,
with all that talent, bro, in there,
And I gotta shout you out, man, because you had your son there. So you had the future representing, and that was just amazing. And he even spoke, early on. Had some commentary, so hey, kudos to you. I just appreciate just what you represent, bro, and what you bring to the table, not only with your business, but just what I've seen as far as you being a man and a father, having him there. So just want to give you some flowers on that too, bro.
Oh man, thank you, man. That's important, showing the kids the greatness. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those images get embedded in their head. So that they come around, they see that, they can see what they can become.
That's right.
Wow, look at all my people here. Wow, he was excited about it. And he became the star. I couldn't go anywhere without somebody coming up to you. Where's your son? Where's your son? Where's he's so I was getting, and then, and I take him a lot of places like that. And he always gets that same response because he's very respectful.
Yeah, man.
And, with all of that, we developed some great networking opportunities, and I made him my 11-year-old son, he's the president of marketing for Prominent now.
Nice. He definitely is a chief engagement officer, without a doubt.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man, let's talk about Prominent for a moment. Kind of as we get started, on our platform, we're really kind of introducing these various market segments, the various opportunities, in this industry, which is the highest paid industry in the country, one of the most slept on, that people really don't even know exist until they get in it. Then they find out it's like the best kept secret in business. For Prominent Agency, I know you guys are headquartered in Wilmington, Delaware, have offices in Philly as well. What do you do on a day-to-day? What areas of insurance do you guys specialize in and focus on?
Oh, so we do property and casualty. So we do personal lines, of course. That's where we started. And now we're doing commercial, small commercial, anything under like $10,000 in revenue. We do our best work there. So we're a property and casualty shop only. Looking to get into benefits in the future, but that's all we're concerned about right now is property and casualty.
Okay. Okay. Now let's break down the property and casualty a little bit, because there's somebody who's listening to this platform for the first time, right? And they're hearing property and casualty. And I know even sometimes when I say property and casualty, they're like, what? Even though it's very simple when you break it down. What's property and casualty?
So it consists of auto insurance, home insurance, renter's insurance, business insurance. So that consists of property and casualty. So anything doing with your home, your auto, your renters, your RV, your motorcycle, we deal with that, which we consider property and casualty. Buildings, structures, offices, all business insurance as well.
So basically, anything, if you're listening, anything that you basically come in contact with every single day is going to fall under that property casualty. So your car, your house, if you hear somebody say property casualty, it's talking about your car, your house, litigation. If somebody wants to sue you for, something that they say you're responsible for, all these things are falling under that property and casualty umbrella. So it's a big market segment. There's a lot of opportunity there. And it's really a very important, part of not just business, but of our lives, to understand. So Jason, man, I want to go back because, you've been in the business for some time. You've built a successful company. You're offering opportunities to other. You say you guys are looking to even expand into employee benefits in the future here. I like to go back and kind of start at the beginning. Take me back, 9 years old, 10 years old. Jason Rodriguez. Most people didn't think about or dream about kind of going into this business, but obviously, as I said, when they do, they're like, man, why didn't I know about this earlier? What were you dreaming of at 9, 10 years old? What were you dreaming of being?
So basically, I wanted to be a basketball player. Magic Johnson was always my favorite player, man. Seeing him come down in that Laker uniform, throwing it behind the back passes. So, I wanted to be Magic Johnson. So them early ages that you just talked about, 8, 9, I spent most of my time, like most of my youth and the friends as that we grew up with on a basketball court.
Yeah.
That'd be our job. Come from school, go upstairs, check in, and right to the court until it get dark. I don't know if we did our homework. I think everything was done at the basketball court. So yeah, just seeing that and being able to have fun around that age and just live life without no cares in the world. I didn't know. I wasn't looking towards the future. We're just present at that moment and just enjoying it. And been around a lot of entrepreneurs as well.
Absolutely. Now, did you grow up in Delaware? Or you grew up in Philly?
No, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York.
From Brooklyn, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So I grew up in Marlboro.
Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Yeah. That's a Biggie from, Biggie from that style. And Jay-Z, we from where they call Coney Island, Marlboro.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay. Is that Marcy? Is that Marcy?
Nah, Marcy is a project as well.
Okay.
Where Jay-Z grew up at. And I grew up in Marlboro. It's another project. Yeah, okay. It's another project on it's on the other side of Brooklyn. So Jay-Z Biggie grew up in like the block, on a block. Me and Jay-Z grew up in the projects.
I got you. All right.
Yeah. So it's different mentality as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my wife, she's from New York. She would have a conversation with you on the Brooklyn piece. That's her thing. She was born in Queens. She grew up in Brooklyn, then moved to Teaneck and went to high school out there later on. So yeah, man. So coming up in that environment, coming up in Brooklyn, what did you see? So basketball was kind of your idea. What did you see around? Did you see anybody in this space? Did you see anybody in financial services, insurance?
Nah, unfortunately, man, in our communities, they take those individuals out of there. Once you get any type of prominence or, you make a little bit of money, you usually move out the project. So no, unfortunately, that wasn't the people that we have seen, but you watch movies, things and I had no idea of insurance. I had no idea of it, the value of it, and how much value it provides, and how without it, commerce would cease to exist as we know it. Yeah. I didn't know none of this about insurance until, I got into it. So it's like what you alluded to in your opening. I was listening to that. One of the insurance, the best kept secret.
Yeah.
So I didn't know nothing about it. And if you get into it, you figure out stocks and bonds. That's what you learn about, you hear about. That's what's promoted. That's what's sexy. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm,
So we lived in New York, so you constantly hear about Manhattan, Wall Street. You can't go by without hearing about that. The financial sector, things of that nature. But as far as insurance, nah, I didn't know anything about it. And if you don't, and if you hear anything, it's usually life insurance, where they
right.
come to your door. They can, yeah, I used to get a life insurance guy used to come to my house and give me this coupon book and come around every month and that type of situation. But as far as what we into property and casualty and benefits, nah,
I
it wasn't
know.
heard of.
Is it?
Still
Is
don't hear
it?
about it. Still don't hear about it.
You
We
still
gotta,
don't hear about it. That's right. That's right. You know what?
you so we
Know,
gotta promote. It's
that's
our job to promote it. You know what I mean? That's what
that's a
we out here
good,
doing.
that's a good point. I mean, that's why this platform exists, because I'm like, yo, people
Exactly.
don't talk about these opportunities that are out here. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
I think like where would I what would things be like if someone had either come to my school and say, yo, this is a career path that you can get into? Because even when we see athletes, when we see entertainers, we're typically seeing we're seeing not only what they do professionally, but we're also seeing the lifestyle that's
That's
a
right.
result of that, right?
Yes, sir.
But since I've been in this business, shoot, I've seen the same lifestyle that you see with athletes and entertainers
That's right.
as well. Same restaurants, same trips, you know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Same cars, same houses,
That's right.
maybe even more, you know. So and the wherewithal to know what to do with it
That's right.
once you have it. So let me ask you that. I know that, even prior to, so you started out, basketball, hoop dreams,
That's right.
but you've always been an entrepreneur. Take me through your journey, man. How'd you end up kind of moving, into this space?
Yeah, like I said, growing up I had a brother that lived with me. Grew up under my brother. He's 10 years older than me. He always been a hustler. Like when I say hustler, he wasn't a drug dealer hustler, but he would sell a lot of he'd sell anything.
Okay.
And he was actually the first one to start that bootlegging in New York. That's how deep it is. So we used to sell shirts, guest shirts, everything. So he taught me how to speak to people, be out there and not be afraid to say no, get no's, and just be in the public presenting a product, you know what I mean, to the mass audience, So he taught me how to be that and just being out there. Like I take my brother used to always take me along with him,
Mm.
and show me how he did it. I used to sit and observe. He had lingo. They had scripts that they would make up on the fly. They were just good with the lingo. And I learned just by watching and
Yeah.
observing. And then, as I got older, it was my time, and I just, it was natural to me. Just being a people person. Making sure that you do the right thing. Making sure that the product that you pushing or you providing to somebody, they both, everybody's benefiting. So, as you grow up, this is what I learned. And then I got into insurance because I had a serial entrepreneur, had clothing stores. We started, the traditional thing that we learned to do, record labels,
Yeah, right.
you know what I mean? Clothing stores, so we took the traditional route that's being promoted or advertised from rappers or anybody that's we seem to seem have made it. So, the same situation with me. We did record store. We had a record label. We had a clothing store. We was doing it all. And when I had and then we had a transportation company. We was taking people to and from colleges to New York City. We had
Mm.
we had deals with University of Delaware, things of that nature. We'd take the ESL students that come from different countries to the city. We had contracts. So, how I got insurance is because I'm, as an entrepreneur, when you're paying $30,000-$40,000 a year in commercial auto, you're like, yo, how can I get some of this back? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You start speaking I started speaking to the agent, you feel what I'm saying, who was the principal owner. And I was like, yo, what's going on? Like, how do I get an insurance? What's that about? Tell me about it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm trying to get some of this premium back. You know what I mean? And when I got into the insurance, I thought, I didn't know nothing about the field, and I thought you needed a, college degree or some
Mhm.
type of degree. I didn't know it just took licensing. All you had to do is just get a course and pass the test. I said, that's all you got to do. You ain't got to go to college for 2-4 years, no bachelor's, no associate. It's like, no, all you got to do is get your license. What does that look like? A 40-hour course, 40-hour course, and I can get into the insurance game. And I learned about it, and ever since then, man, I've been in it. And I wish I would have knew about this first, because it's the only thing I would have been doing, because it provides so much value to our community. You know, being able to educate them, make them whole in the event of a claim. You know, we have an important job as insurance advisors.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I want to dig into something that you just mentioned. You said you called your agent and asked, "Hey, you know, how do I get into this?" How was that experience, and how did the agent kind of receive you, you know, in asking how to get into the industry?
So the agent was, like I said, was the principal owner, and he had about 15 agents under him. And I always been an entrepreneur, so he known me for doing business. So he was very receptive, opened his doors, told me how to do it, you know, and even let me come work with him for a few months to get it all, you know what I mean, to learn the ropes and things of that nature without pay. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was willing to do that. I just, my thing is, you provide me with an opportunity, I'm gonna take it there. So I don't need to get paid. The knowledge enough is payment for me. You know, just showing me how to do it and showing me what to do, and the contacts is that was more than a blessing than anything. I didn't need no money. You know, if you give me an opportunity, I'm gonna learn how to get the money. Because I'm a people person. I'm not scared to speak to anybody or have a conversation.
Jason, you giving me more, man. I can't even move forward because I got to go back to some of the things that you're saying here. First, I wanted you to mention that, because what I find is that for most agents, particularly if they're successful, they're always willing to share knowledge, you know, yes, and kind of open the door for others to come in. And you also mentioned that when you went in to work for the agency, obviously to learn, we'll call it maybe like an internship, you know, style, or apprenticeship, you know, style relationship there. And it wasn't about the money, it was about the knowledge and information, you know, because you knew that you were going to apply that knowledge and information. So, you know, for those that are listening, how much, if you can share, you know what I mean? Like if you had to equate the amount of dollars or revenue that knowledge has helped you to create, what would you put it roundabout? You gotta be specific, but roundabout.
I mean, millions of dollars. Reason being is because it gave me the opportunity to do what I'm doing today, which the potential that's going to be coming could be in the tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. So just being able to open the door and have a mentality, hey, let me learn, let me see. I wasn't getting no draw or nothing. You know, I was just in there just trying to learn, see what was going on. And I know my personality. I know I'm gonna make something happen with it if I believe in it. Yeah. And once I started to learn about it and believe in it, I'm like, wow, it does this. Oh, you can do this. Oh, wow, okay. Residual. Now, you know, looked at the business too. Oh, it's a residual based business too. You write the client, you service them, and you provide, you create a relationship, and you can keep them forever. Okay, I like this business. You know? Yeah. So that started that. And man, to equate the money, man, it's got to be in the millions of dollars. You know?
Yeah. See, I
wouldn't even seen the opportunity. Boom. You know, I seen it because I knew what it was, and then him opening his doors and be like, hey, I could show it to you. Oh, girl, I want to be a part of that. And me taking the initial steps, because I had to get my license and I had to do all of that as well. So, you know, it was just him opening the doors, which is a blessing. You got to take responsibility. You got to take initiative. You got to make the moves that's necessary for you and your family. So I did that, and I never looked back. I wish I would have known about that, because like you said, it's a secret. Yeah. You know, it's a secret. Nobody, and I don't care how sexy it is. At the end of the day, you know, we try to help people and help ourselves in the process in this industry.
Absolutely, man. Shit. I mean, I think some of the things that we have the ability to do are kind of sexy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? We're not hurting. You know, I was in a conversation. I was at a selective meeting, and these gentlemen next to me was talking about $5 million homes they just built up And then out of in there, I said, that's nice.
I'm just saying, you know,
You know what
I'm just saying, you know. But so yeah, you know, kind of coming into that. So you worked there a couple months, and you know, you kind of got your foot in, you got some knowledge, you got some information that you can utilize. At what point did you decide, okay, I think I can go out and do this on my own? And kind of what was that transition process like for you?
Oh man, it was immediately. Like within the first 6 months, I went on my own. You know, I've been an entrepreneur, so it was easy for me.
Yeah.
You know, and like basically, they was giving me access to markets. And I always see, you know, I took the time to apply myself after hours as well. You know, when you got a mission and a goal, you got to apply yourself. You know, so I was out of that agency and started my own scratch within 6 months of getting introduced to the industry. You know, had figured out all I need is E&O. I had the relationships because he helped me build relationships with some of the carriers, which was a blessing. And he really wasn't concerned because he's making millions of dollars himself. So he was just
Right.
happy to share. So at that time, you know, developed a few relationships in the agency, developed relationships with the carriers, started off, you know, with the Progressive. Back then it was the Victorias. We was doing all non-standard, you know, stuff like that. I would write anybody that had a pulse. You know what I'm saying? You was breathing in front of me. I'm like, how can I help you? You know what I mean? What you need, insurance for your t-shirt, whatever. We can insure anything, you know, we can take it to market.
Yeah.
You know, so that was my mentality. And I'm still here today, you know, 12 years later.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's get into that, man. Let's talk more about, you know, about Prominent and what you guys are doing, because, you know, you're doing something. I mean, you see, you know, kind of recruitment happening, but from the franchising model, like at what point did you decide, hey, we're going to kind of launch into that to help this agency ownership and this whole development model? When did that process kind of kick off for you?
So it basically, you know, when being in my journey, just figuring out that we needed help. So, you know, like in our, unfortunately, like we you know, we just came back from the NIA conference, so we've seen Black excellence.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen that, but outside of that, we don't have the mentorship, we don't have the resources. At least I didn't at that particular time. To if I want to start an agency, if I want to be a producer, what should I be doing? Where should I be going? What should be my concentration? What should be my clientele base? How can I build it out? Where's the scripts to use? What's the process do I have to do to be able to build this relationship? Where should I start? I didn't have none of that. I would gather that from other people as I learned in the business. Oh, I like how he does this. Because I didn't really reinvent any wheel. Hey, I like how he does that. Let me grab that. I like how he does this. Let me grab that. That's interesting. I like that as well. Let me grab that. So in my 12-year journey, you know, as well as my partner, because I got a partner as well, Jeffrey Benson, Chief Operating Officer. We have developed this system, and we're able to franchise it. You know, we got processes, procedures. You know, there's nothing that you have to think about when you get into this with us, because we know, you quite familiar, I'm pretty sure. When you start an agency, man, with no mentorship, we fall in all the holes.
Yeah.
You know, there's nobody telling you, watch out for that one, or watch out for this one. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of this. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. This is what I would concentrate on, and this is how you get them. Let me help you. Let me come with you on appointments. Let me do this. We didn't have that. You know, so we've seen the need for it, especially in our community, because what we're trying to do, as you alluding to, get more people in this $5 trillion industry, but we're concentrating on minorities in particular, because you have the Brightways, you have the other franchise companies getting, you know, the masses. We're just trying to make our people in particular aware of this, bring a social justice piece as well, so they can have a living wage, something that they can live off of and build a career off of, because, you know, as I do, this is a rewarding industry. So if we have the platform, the processes, the market, and all the instructions how to win, then there's nothing for you to do but just keep moving forward and moving up. So this is what we wanted to provide, and this is what we have provided. And we just actually got our franchise disclosure document in September. So we only 1 month in trying to get our people into this franchise
Amazing.
model.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. So we perfect timing, to be talking about this. And by the time you listen to this conversation, it'll probably be 3-4 months out,
Yes.
So, we want to make sure that, folks are engaging and finding out, ways that they can get their prominent, insurance agency kind of built up. You mentioned, some of the other companies, that are out there. And you also mentioned kind of the social justice component. I think we're in a very interesting, just kind of climate, in this country. How do you feel the social the social justice initiatives have kind of impacted our industry from maybe a services standpoint, but also from a ownership and engagement career standpoint as well?
I mean, as you can see, everybody's on diversifying. Everybody's on, diversity, trying to get more minority participation, whether on a carrier level or the agency level or any type of level. They're trying to be compliant, and it's a good thing. But with anything, if you don't strike while the iron's hot, you could lose out on an opportunity. But we're here for the long run. We really see how big this industry is. We see less than 10% of the less than 10% of this industry is minority, and we're just trying to fill that gap. Whether it be a 5% increase, 10% increase that we could bring to the market, that's a benefit for the whole. Because
Yeah.
more firepower, more intellectual capital, we can make this industry much better. And once we get into it, it becomes
You're right.
wow. What I mean? We bring the swag to it.
Right.
But I'm just happy. I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. I like I like everybody that's pushing this. I appreciate everybody that's pushing this industry forward, giving it a good name, doing the right thing by their clients, man. I applaud everybody that's doing that.
Absolutely. So as you continue to kind of move forward, and it sounds like, kind of the long-term strategy is to build out, the franchising model and really kind of lend that support to new people. But what keeps you motivated, like on a day-to-day? You've been in the business, 12 years, 10 plus years. I mean, listen, you and I know, like if you make it past your first year in the business, you've done a lot, right?
Yes.
If you make it past 3 years, okay, you here forever, basically. So 12 years in, what keeps you going on a day-to-day basis?
Just, I would say God first, keeping God first, my family, serving my clients as well. It's just all of that. Cause every day when you're in business in particular, there's ebbs and flows, ups and downs.
Yeah.
I may want to quit tomorrow, but today I'm happy. I'm doing an interview with my brother, but that's how business is. It's just ups and downs, and that's what keeps me going. God, keeping God first, staying grounded. Your family knowing what you're doing it for, why. You got to come in and get some no's. Why you got to have these conversations, because it's not easy to have conversations with people because everybody's not pleasant. So
True.
it becomes difficult. Like, I got to make this call. I got to do this. I got to, because I don't want to hit. Oh man. And then you got people that you look forward to speaking to. Hey, what's going on? How's everything going? But it's all of that combined. Just and love. I love our clients. Being able to
Absolutely.
educate them. I love when a client says, "Wow, I never heard that before. Nobody told me that. Wow, I didn't know I can use the insurance to do this." You spoke about general liability. There's so many things you can do with general liability that our people don't understand. Just having a lawyer on payroll for what your policy premium is. I need to break that down to them. I say, what's your policy premium? Just say your policy premium is $1,000 a year. I said, a good lawyer costs you $450 an hour. You have a lawyer or retainer for personal liability. These are things you in a supermarket, you run somebody over by accident with the cart, break an old lady hip by accident. She got to get surgery. Call your insurance company. Personal liability. You didn't do it on purpose. But that could have cost somebody $150,000 worth of surgery. Now you don't have to come out of your pocket. your premium is paying for that, don't you? I didn't know I could do that. Yeah, it has. So we're not educating. So our goal is to educate our community, because a lot of times in our community, they think insurance is a racket. Why? Because half the time they purchase a policy, they get the instructions from a third party. So for instance, if you come in to do business with me, I'm saying, hey, Rod, I need you to get this, this, and this, but I'm giving you instructions to protect me. I don't know what you need. I'm just telling you what I need for you to do business with me as a contractor. Then you go to your insurance agent, who is usually, uh, just a policy recorder, and he says, "Hey, this is what my contractor said I need," and they just give you that. And then if a claim happens, the money that is paid is only paid. It goes right past you to the person that gave you instructions to get in. You like, well, where's mine at? They never ask you those questions.
Mm, that's a
They
big
order
deal.
takers. So we in there, we want to educate our people, whether or not they can afford our recommendations. My job and our job is to make sure you know of your vulnerability.
That's right.
I did my job. If you know, hey, this is what you need, this is why you need it, to protect from these things that may happen in your business or may not happen. This is why you need this line. This is why you need this line to protect these things. Now, whether or not you can purchase it at that particular time, in the back of your head what is needed. And periodically we remind you, hey, you got those two. Are you ready in position to do this? Oh yeah, I'm ready now. Let's add that coverage. But that's our job, is to educate our community, because our people in particular don't get educated.
Yeah,
They just get what somebody else told them to get. So
that's
we
it.
want to be positive. And usually, when you're dealing with that $10,000 and under in revenue, so if somebody's paying $100,000 in premium or anything, just say somebody's paying 50,000 or less, they're not getting that advisory. The bigger companies don't even want that type of client. They say it's not profitable. But we
Mm,
found ways to make that business profitable. You know,
yeah,
and it's just educating them as well.
absolutely, man. Look, I love the way that you take the concepts and you break them down from a standpoint of just um making it relatable, to your day-to-day life. Like the grocery store example, something happens, boom, you got the attorney on retainer through your personal liability. No, that's just such a,
Yeah,
a wonderful analogy, man. That's like, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Because it really does kind of speak to, that empowerment, that we're able to offer when we communicate this information the right way, particularly to our communities. And what you just mentioned, we haven't always been educated. And it's interesting because I was just having a conversation earlier today where, I was talking about kind of the old way, this industry has worked versus the new way this industry works. And in that old way, it's like, hey, I'm going to, somebody's going to give you something based on whatever, they feel like you might need, maybe some questions, probably something you can't understand. Then later on, somebody's going to ask you, well, what you got? And you're going to say, I don't know. I got something,
yeah, exactly, exactly.
But in the new way, like where we are now, it really is about kind of educating in such a way where the consumer or business owner can strategically see how these coverages kind of fit their long-term strategy, fit their goal, fit where they want to go. And I can tell that, you're in that consultative conversation, with them. It's more of instead of it just being an agent and client, it's more like, hey, we're two partners coming together to figure out what your objectives are.
That's right. And that's the goal right there. You just hit it on the head. That's the goal.
Yeah,
Right
man.
there, brother. Yes, sir.
Tell me something. Obviously you've been an entrepreneur, man. You've been a go-getter. How do you feel two things? The first question is, how do you feel like having the license has impacted your life? Give me like your life before having a license versus your life after getting licensed.
So before, I didn't know the value of insurance, and I was very reckless with money, very reckless with not having the proper insurances on myself, things of that nature. and didn't think about it until I got my license and started to study this. You take your CE courses, whether you taking continuing educations or one of these accelerated program to get your designations as well. You start to learn about it, and in learning, I'm like, wow, we have so much value, and I need to protect myself from liability. Start hearing about claim scenarios. They start telling you about horror stories. Like, whoa,
Right.
I need to. So before, and then just the attentiveness to risk around you. You start to look at things a little bit differently, and it's just in lifestyle as well. So it's a rewarding lifestyle.
Yeah.
Way of living. Increased our way of living. After getting your license. So and like I said, alluded to earlier, I think this type of where you can make this much income and be anywhere you desire in the world. I thought it needed at least a 4-year, 5-year, 6-year degree. No
Yeah.
degree needed. I'm like, wow, sign me up.
Right. Like like I said, it's one of them things where like the barrier to entry is not high.
Not at all.
I mean, if you can go and take study and take not to make it seem like it's super easy to do, but I mean, if you have at least the discipline to study, like you said, those 40 hours, and you can take that test, you can join this industry and soar. And if you got the work ethic,
yeah.
Hey, listen, game over.
Exactly. I would tell about. I said when you go into a clothing store, their inventory is clothing. You go into a supermarket, their inventory is food. Which has expiration dates on all of that as well.
Yeah.
Our inventory is people. They never going to expire. They always going to be renewing.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere you go, you turn. That's your inventory. You go into a building. That's your inventory. You go into a car. That's your inventory.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to Rod. That's the inventory. Speaking to Jason. This is your inventory.
No doubt.
Just everywhere you go. It's all around you.
Sure.
And just structuring it the right way.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna this is another question. I'm gonna dive even deeper, because one of the things I know that I've gotten out of this industry is not only the professional development but also personal development. Just mindset cultivation. I want to know for you, do you feel like this industry has changed you as a person in any way, and if so, how?
Good question. Changed me as a person. I couldn't say it. I mean, we are who we are before we got here. Jay-Z line. So changed me. Nah, my foundation changed me as a person is what I believe.
Yeah.
What I believe. This is what I do as a means to sustain myself.
Yeah.
But as a person, now I couldn't say. But I was able to meet good people.
Yeah.
And meeting good people, their goodness tends to resonate on you.
Yeah.
So yes, I met great people and good people that really caring and loving and wanting to help people. So you get that and be like, wow. So just being around different environments of individuals that want to help people, you start to, like I said earlier, I like how he did that. Let me grab that. I like how he did that. Let me get that. I like, what I mean? So in that essence, yes, it makes you a better person. Because now you're serving differently, you looking to help people differently from experiences that you have
from the experiences and the insights, more like it kind of maybe evolve some of the thought process you might have towards different things. Correct. Because you get different insights that, oh, okay, I didn't think of it that way. Now I can implement that into how I'm moving. In business and maybe in some of the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. Well, because you mentioned getting into the business, how you treated money, finances, because people can make money, right? But knowing what to do with it once you have it is different.
Totally different. Correct.
Totally different. So even that type of mindset cultivation is something important that I think is necessary for people to hear.
Yes, sir.
So you guys have already built a successful business. You're kind of elevating that to another level by doing the franchising aspect. Take me now. We went back we went back in time, at the beginning of the conversation. As we start to round out here, take me into the future, man. Take me 15, 20 years into the future. What's happening with Jason Rodriguez and Prominent Insurance Agency?
Oh man, so 15, 20 years in the future, man, that's right here, right around the corner. So we want to, we want to have 500, franchisees, in that period of time, and our goal is to get 100 of those franchisees over $1 million in revenue. Changing lives, changing our community, being able to do things for individual, build homes, because the money when the money coming in, you start to do things.
Right.
When you get to that point, start to be in philanthropy, give college funds, just put people in position to be put people in a better position than what you may have had. Give them chances at opportunity, because that's all we're here for, is to make each one teach one, make the next person's life better, so that's our goal. It ain't just money motivated, but the money allows you to do the things that you can help humanity with. So I just want to help people, in particular our people in our communities which are struggling,
Absolutely.
just to find their way, just to figure out who they are, their identity. I want to be able to help them with that, whether it's education, putting up a, educational center. It's so many things that I really want to do outside of that, outside of insurance. It's important, and I was just telling, I was speaking to somebody today and I was like, this industry, it's two things: what I do as a career and what I want to do for the world.
Yeah.
What I'm doing as a career, insurance is allowing me to do the things I want to do for the world. Exactly. Because it gives me the revenue to do it. Unfortunately, it's a capitalist society. If I can get things done for free, then I'll be doing what I want to do for the world. But I have to have some type of income. I got to have some type of career to be able to, push that agenda, what I want to do for the world forward. So that's my goal. Yeah.
Vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Love it, bro. I love it. So, somebody who is, let's say somebody's listening to your story and your conversation, man, which has been phenomenal. I mean, you got a lot of nuggets you can drop, throughout us talking. Someone who is kind of maybe on the fence, maybe they're just hearing about this industry for the first time. Maybe they just joined the business. Maybe they joined the business, they're having a rough time. They're thinking if they should stay in. What kind of advice, guidance would you give to somebody who's new in this industry?
I mean, there's so many different areas you can go into in insurance, so many different areas. It's so many opportunities in this. So I would get a view of what's out there that the insurance industry is offering, because I'm at the agent level, principal level, then there's carrier relationships, there's underwriting, there's claims, there's reinsurance, there's all types of opportunities in this field. So I would follow the path that's best fit your personality or the person's personality, because whatever you do in life, it takes work. You're gonna have to put on them overalls and get to work. Anything that, I tell my children, I says, if somebody offers you something free, run, because free costs too much. It has a cost to it. So anything that you get in is going to be required work. And this industry, man, the work you put in and how you get rewarded for the work you could put in, it's astronomical. It's, the timing and just writing a policy. I was just writing one policy for a client. The agency may make $300-400, but I said, how long did we spend with that client just closing the deal? Probably 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you do that a few times a day. You're like, wow, look what it can spiral to. So it's very rewarding. Don't give up. Look at it. Depending on what your personality type is, look at it and come be a part of it. Because over here we winning, right, Rod? You could tell them.
Yeah. 100%. Hey, look, Jason, if somebody wants to get in contact with you, if they want to reach out to Prominent, they want to find out, maybe they just want to find out, hey, look, how can they're in Delaware, Philly, they want to find out how they can come work at your office. maybe they're a new agent or an established agent who say, hey, look, I think I want to build my own agency and I want some guidance. I want that mentorship. How do folks get in contact with you?
You can, the best way to get in contact with us online, www.prominentagency.com. That's prominentagency.com. All our information is on there. Or you can call our office at 302-351-3368. Or you can email me at jason@prominentagency.com. But the best way is just to reach us online. And we attend. We want to answer all your questions. We want to help you. You know, we help people. We give out information. You know, I'm here for those that's willing to do something for themselves. I'm here for it.
There you go, man. Hey, look, thank you so much, for the time tonight. Just look, man, just an incredible, conversation, some insights. I think that I know, look, the way that you broke down the liability piece, that's the first time I heard somebody break that down. So that was nice.
Yes, sir. Man, that's you in the game. You in the game.
Right. But the way just communicating, right? It's all about communication. It's like you don't think of it. You don't think of it like that. You don't think of liability. Hey, look, this is an attorney or retainer right here, just by paying your premiums. You don't think of it from that standpoint. You think about it from, hey, look, if someone's suing you, obviously you got support, for that litigation that might occur. But to say, hey, look, instead of paying the attorney $400 an hour, you could pay your premiums. Come on, it's a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. So, hey, man, thank you so much. For all your contributions. Always wishing you much success with Prominent, and obviously anything that we can do to support you. Certainly here for. Look, reach out to Jason Rodriguez, prominentagency.com. Get your franchise. This is the first guest that we've had that has a franchise opportunity for you in this space.
Yes, sir.
Plug and play.
We want you. We're gonna have you with open arms.
Plug and play. So it ain't got to be hard. You just find. I tell you what, find the right guidance and find the right mentorship. Find the right organization. Culture is just so important in this business. So Jason, thank you, man, for everything that you're doing. Congratulations on the success thus far. And just sending you much more. So look, those who are listening, you got an opportunity in front of you. It's waiting for you. All you got to do is take action on it. But I hope you heard something in this conversation that caused you to take note and maybe think to yourself, you should get a license. Until the next time, take care.